So, how many of you often get takeout? I know I do, okay? And more often than I'm proud to admit. But you know how it is. Sometimes you are just tired and sometimes you're working late or you're just plain lazy, okay? And it's so convenient to just get some fast food and feed the family, you know? And if you're anything like me, you take your laziness to the next level and you don't even feel like getting dressed. So you jump in the car in your PJs and you just go to the drive-thru. But the last thing that you would probably ever expect is for a stranger to come and attack you randomly and suddenly while you're at a drive-thru that you've been at many times before. And that's exactly what happened in today's case. And it actually just happened the other day. But before I go any further, welcome to Crime Rush. I'm Inga. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. And please be warned that this content can be extremely upsetting, so please proceed with caution. Also, I get all my information online. You can very easily do the same thing and form your own opinions. Megan Keleman was only 25 years old and she lived in Stow, a small city in the state of Ohio. She graduated from Cleveland State University and received her master's degree in business administration in May of this year. She also had a bachelor's degree in finance and financial management services under her belt. So she had so much going for her. And according to reports, she was a beloved daughter, sister, and friend whose vibrant spirit touched all who knew her. One of her friends, Kim Politas, actually came forward and said that Megan was an amazing person. She would often travel as a missionary. She was passionate about helping young girls. She was so intelligent. She was just so giving, so kind. She had so much to offer. But sadly, her life was stolen in the most bizarre way. On the evening of 14 August 2024, which is only 10 days ago, Megan decided to take her doggie that she loved very much. She jumped in a car and she went to Taco Bell to get some takeout. It was just after 7 p.m. and she used the drive-thru. And as she drove up to the speaker to place her order, there was a man parked behind her and he started honking his horn at her repeatedly. Not very long after this, that same man took his car and rammed it into Megan's vehicle. In that very moment, Megan asked a Taco Bell employee over the speaker to phone police for assistance. That already in and of itself is insane. It's crazy. You would never ever expect that while trying to place an order at a drive-thru. But hey, it happened. And unfortunately, it only gets worse. After all of that, this man, who we now know to be Jason Williams, a 53-year-old man, got out of his vehicle, walked up to Megan's car, where she was still sitting in it with her doggie, and lifted up his weapon and without any hesitation, shot her. He then turned the weapon on himself and ended his own life right there and then.
No, the person in the car behind us.
911, where's your emergency?
Somebody was murdered, and the murderer just killed themselves in front of the Taco Bell on Graham Road.
You said Taco Bell on Graham?
Yeah. There was just a murder, and the murderer just killed himself in our drive-thru right now.
Yep, we've got police and fire on their way. They're going to be there as soon as they can. Can
Please
I get
hurry up. This is an emergency, please.
I'm at the Taco Bell on Graham Road and Hudson Drive, and a man just shot somebody and then shot himself in the head.
Do you have a description?
I didn't see very much. I just told he was bald. His car's in the drive-thru. I'm sorry, I'm really shaken up. And he had a black shirt on, and I just watched him shoot himself in the head.
Okay, and both subjects are still there, correct?
Yeah, the guy's like dead in the drive-thru. I don't know where the other person is, but he shot somebody, and then he just put the gun under his chin, and he shot himself in the head.
Megan and Jason were both declared deceased at the scene. Now, this is just so shocking. I don't even know why things like this have to happen. It's just so sad, and it's so unnecessary. And this town, Stow, I looked it up, and it sounds to me like This is a really like a town that you would consider safe. You let me know if you live in the US or you live in the state of Ohio. Let me know what you think of the town Stow. But apparently this was the first murder that happened there in 5 years. So to me, that sounds really safe, okay? And the craziest thing about all of this is that when the police looked into it, they discovered that there's no connection between Megan and James Williams whatsoever. So this really was completely random. And in my opinion, that just makes it so much more terrifying. The fact that this was random, she couldn't have seen it coming. She couldn't have been like, you know, careful, because you would never ever expect something like that. And if you're anything like me, you are probably wondering what happened to her dog. Well, I'm happy to report at least the dog is safe and he was rescued by police.
Was there anyone else in the victim's car with their dog?
Yes, her family pet was there. Our officers made arrangements with a local club, rescue club that came and actually washed the dog and took care of it, and then it was returned to the owners last night, the family last night.
So who in the world is James Williams, and why on earth would he do this? Well, police actually held a press conference and they said, we may never know why he did this.
And we do not at this time have the answer why this happened, and we may never know why.
But we can look at what we do know about him, and honestly, it really isn't a lot. But like I said, James Williams was 53 years old. He did have a criminal record, but for like substance charges and for theft and for obtaining weapons illegally. Sorry, I have to think of how I can word it because YouTube is so sensitive. And in fact, the weapon that he used the night when he did that to Megan was obtained illegally. And he also had a DUI because police actually pulled him over when they saw him driving erratically on the 26th of March of this year of 2024.
Stop the car. What are you doing? Put your hands on the wheel for me. Put your hands on the wheel. On the wheel. What are you doing, sir? You're driving the wrong way on a one-way street. What are you doing? Sir, can you answer me? Do you know why you're going the wrong way on a one-way?
I'm sorry.
123 radio, can I get it back? Do you know why?
No.
Okay. I'm Officer Hill Hudson Police. I stopped you for a multitude of things, including stopping in the middle of the road, going through a stop sign, and then now you're driving the wrong way on a one-way street. Do you have your driver's license?
I'll start that way as well.
Where are you trying to go?
Home.
Huh?
Home?
Where's home?
Aurora.
Aurora?
Yes.
It turns out that James was 3 times over the legal limit, and when police searched his car, they found an empty bottle of Captain Morgan, many expensive watches, and an illegal firearm. He was then released on bond, and part of his arrangement for bond was that he was not allowed to own a weapon like that. So he wasn't allowed to own a firearm whatsoever. But I do have a question, and this was something I was wondering, because it said the weapon that he used the night that he did that to Megan was obtained illegally. I'm wondering, did they confiscate the weapon that they found in his vehicle that was also obtained illegally? I'm pretty sure they probably did, but who knows, right? I'm just curious to know, because it would be devastating if they didn't, and that was actually the weapon that he used that evening. But I doubt it. He probably went and just stole another one. Now, I was thinking about this, and I'm just going to give you my opinion, what I'm guessing happened, because we really don't have a lot of information. And this is just so shocking. This girl just went to Taco Bell to get some food, and she just loses her life so randomly. I mean, it's insane to even think about it. It's so scary. And she had so much going for her. She was just starting out her life, guys. I mean, it's just so sad. But the only thing I could come up with, that in that moment, he was obviously agitated with her. He was annoyed because in his mind, he was thinking she was taking too long to order, right? But why would that push him over the edge? Well, the only thing I can imagine is that this man had a lot going on in his life that we probably have no idea of, we don't know about. Perhaps a relationship failed, perhaps his wife left him, perhaps his kids don't want anything to do with him. If he has any, we don't even know that. He had this life of crime he was living. That can't be an easy life, even though I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just saying, perhaps it was just a build-up of things. And when he got to that Taco Bell drive-thru, he just snapped. That was like the straw that broke the camel's back. And it's so sad because there's just no way for anyone to see that coming. I mean, there was no way for her to protect herself. And if you think of a drive-thru, I assume they are the same in the US that they are here, but you're sort of stuck in there because you normally have a car in front of you, a car behind you. There's nowhere for you to go. You will have to smash the car in front of you to get away. So she was stuck, and I think she just couldn't even have imagined that this would happen to her. I go to the KFC here in my little town all the time, and I'm telling you right now, I don't ever expect something like that to happen, but I'm sure from now on I'll have this story stuck in my head. But I mean, it's just insane to think that someone could get so agitated. You don't know what's going on in their life, and all of a sudden your life is taken from you. Have you guys heard of this case? Let me know down below and what your thoughts and opinions are on this case. I really appreciate you tuning in. Please, as always, I'm going to ask you to like this video to help me out, and also subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. But then until next time, please stay safe in this wild but still beautiful world, and I will see you in the next one.